Hey guys, Jimmy from Ekaga here. Today we're going to see the best program to get flexible fast. If you want to get flexible fast, you need to take care of a few points. I broke down this program in 3 phases: the heat up phases, the flexibility program itself, and the recovery phases. Out of these 3 phases, the 2 most important ones are the heat up phase and the recovery phases. Why? Because the heat up phase makes sure that you can come back over and over by preventing injuries, making sure your body gets fully flexible and loosened. And the recovery phase makes sure that you get the flexibility fast. How? By coordinating your breathing properly, so that when you start doing all the flexibility and the stretches, what happens, you just realize that, oh, it's just a question of gravity because I'm controlling my breathing and everything is working perfectly. So you need to do these 3 phases. And make sure you guys watch this video until the end, because I have a bonus for you. I've created the perfect checklist to make sure that you get flexible fast. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell so whenever a new content comes up, you are the first one to know about it. And also visit my website, ekagaji.com. There are plenty of stuff on dancing, flexibility, conditioning, etc. Many stuff, many great posts. And without any further ado, let's get started with the best program to get flexible fast. So guys, that was the heat up phase. So as you can see, when you do this phase, you start feeling warm all over your body, and that's what you want. I've made some exercise that looks a little bit funny, you know, when I do all these things and stuff like that and put my hands and I mix with the dancing, etc. But it helps loosen the body. So if you have a little bit of music that, you know, if you can get in the rhythm, that can help. Even if you don't have a lot of dancing rhythm, just do something in sync with the music and it will feel less like an exercise, but more like, how to say, something where you can enjoy it. So if you're thirsty, just drink a little bit of water, but not too much. And then now we'll dive into the flexibility phase right now. So first we'll do everything related to hip opening phase. So the first one we will work on is what they call the butterfly. So you just bring both feet together and you just do this. You make sure your back is straight. So in order to help with a straight back, you just look up. You know, you can do that for 30 seconds, between 30 seconds and a minute. It helps. It really helps. You will find you hear some creaks and some cracks here and there, but it's really good. And it's relatively safe because if you cannot go as deep as me, for example, I mean, you just go as deep as you can. And by doing it, it's a question of gravity doing the work for you. So after this part, what we'll do, we will take the same mindset, but we'll kind of press a bit. So that's why it's good to have some soft mats. So you just spread your leg, but in this fashion. So where you put the weight in between both legs, you use your arm to kind of control this weight. And slowly as you go down, you kind of bring, you know, your hands down. And you let it be like this for 30 seconds. It's very good. You can spread your arm, lengthen your arms. Come back and put more, you know, put more pressure. Then you slowly come back, close your legs, and you are there. The third one is what I call it's a cross legging. So this one, you sit in this position and you just bring one leg underneath your butt. So make sure both butts are on the ground. At the beginning, it might not be the case if you're not so flexible, but with practice, it will happen. Now, what you do is you bring this knee toward your chest and you just use your hand and look at the opposite direction. You twist you twist this belly so that it creates this twisting motion, and you just look back. You can do that for 30 seconds. Then we do the other leg. Just bring, second, and go. Keep your spine straight and the butt to the floor. If you cannot do it, just practice it, it will come. Then, so the next one is a little bit painful, but I'm sure you can do it. So you just put one leg on top, as if you're crossing your legs. And basically what we're going to do is just bend down. But you will feel it's very painful around this area, but it's very good for your flexibility. Make sure when you do that you don't force too much on this part. You know, it's not good. So that's why you can use your fingers and your hands. And if you have an object, you can put it forward and you kind of gradually bend towards it. Don't go for bending the back too much. So you do this, and you, with the tip of your finger, you just go down. And you keep it like this for 30 seconds. Of course, if you can go down, it's good. But believe me, it's a painful one. But it's a very good one. And you just breathe normally, okay? Don't rush into your breathing. And then you bring your fingers back and you come back. And you do the same thing with the other legs. That's where you realize some area of your body are more flexible than the others. Some are hurting more than the others. Some wants to challenge your breathing more than others. Try to fight that. And what will happen is when you, and I will tell you that in the recovery, when you breathe normally, what's happened is like you breathe normal and then you just see, oh, I'm going deeper. Then you come back. So this is very, very good. And in the same token, and this one is a bit safer, so you can do it, definitely, I think. So you just lie on your back and put one leg over the knees, and then you just bring it on you. So you can either press here or press there. Again, this area is where the stretch happens. Then you go back, you do the same, the different leg. And you go back. And we do a little resetting exercise. You just lie down, squeeze butt, put everything together, and as you breathe in, you just go up. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. It's very good if you have pain around the spine, especially around the back area. Next, we're going to work on the hamstrings. As you saw in the heat-up phase, we already started to work on it, but let's make it a bit more formal. So with these hip openers exercises, we kind of loosen this area, so you will see your stretches go a bit deeper. But the first one we'll start with is a yoga pose. They call Trikonasana. So you take 3 feet distance, 2, 3, like this, and you just go in one line, one direction, and the other one you do a 45 degree. And then you breathe in, you raise your arms, and as you breathe out, you just let gravity make you come down. It's tougher than it looks. If you can reach both, reach your toes with both fingers. If not, just, put your hands on your chin. Then you come back, breathe in, and you do the other way, breathe out. And then you can go down. You will see, as you breathe normally and regularly, gravity works for you. Then you breathe in, and then we go to the same direction, but instead of coming that way, we kind of twist. It's like we do a kind of a twisting motion with the arms, and then you go down toward the feet. It's more complicated, so if you can only do that phase, you do that, you put a block, and you let gravity slowly help you out, and with the other, you gaze at the other fingers, so not to lose balance. If you feel you're losing balance, you just put yourself on a block, stay there, and slowly you will come down. Then as you breathe in, you do the same thing in the opposite direction. You twist the feet, twist the arm, look at the fingers, and go toward the opposite feet.
As with the other exercises, you will see that one part is more flexible than the other. And to go deeper, along with your breathing, suck in your belly a little. That will help. Then you come back up. And same thing as what we just saw in the heat up, you just let gravity let you fall down on your leg. If you cannot, because it's difficult, you put a block and slowly try to keep your gaze in front and like this. It's a difficult one, guys, so don't underestimate it. One way to help with it is you can bend slowly and down. Bend slowly and down. So you will see when you do that, you're going down and down. Breathe normally. Then breathe in, all the way up. Turn. If you can hold the breath, if you cannot, you breathe out, and then you breathe in again. And then you make sure your hips are square, and you go down. So basically, you put your weight on the inner side of the left leg and on the outer side of the right leg. And again, if you want the flexibility to walk in, it's kind of cranking it a bit. Look at your toes, suck in your belly. Go up. And this is a good setup. And then to reset this thing, because we've been working on our back, what we do, you breathe in, and you will see by now that your flexibility is getting more and more. You breathe out. You breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And there you can stay there for a little while. 10 seconds, let's make it. Don't do 1, 2, 3, because you will feel the pain. Just do something like that. Just take one long breath and you say 1, and as you breathe out, it's still the 1. Then you breathe in again, you say 2, and as you breathe out, it's still the 2. So that will make the 10 seconds go faster. Then you breathe in, one leg, right leg in, then breathe out, left. Breathe in, up, breathe out, down, breathe in, all the way up. Very good to reset the spine. Another exercise we can do, which is a little bit more complicated, we'll just stand on one leg for the hamstrings, and as you bend down, you tighten the leg. Suck in your belly, look at your fingers. It's painful, guys, so don't underestimate it. So if you cannot do it, use blocks. If you cannot go down as much, you use blocks. Breathe in, and then go up. Again, we do the other one. Look at your fingers. Suck in your belly. Breathe in. Another one I like. It's a painful one. You bring these legs together and you just hold them. Try to get them as high as possible. Just look at the toes. And if you can reach, you reach. If you cannot, it's fine. Or you can still crank it to help you, like this. Up, crank, crank, and like this. Up, crank, crank, and okay. And then you do the same thing with the other leg. Go up, keep it. Keep your butt on the floor. Crank, crank, and try. Again, crank it, crank it. Crank, crank,
So pretty painful, guys. The next one, now you will see the flexibility getting in. You just, so we breathe in, keep 1 foot distance, and just breathe out, suck in your belly. Breathe in, breathe out. Carry on from the previous exercise. What we'll do now is put our 1 foot underneath our, our body, and the other one stretch, and you just let gravity get you down. It helps for those who want to do split and stuff like that. You hold the position for 30 seconds at least. Then you breathe in, come back, and then you change leg. Try to keep square hips, so you stay like this a little bit. You can do that for the other leg too. Do that for 20-30 seconds, and then down, 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 and down. Then up. Then your next one, you put your weight toward the glute area and keep it like this for 20 seconds. Breathe normally all the time. If you cannot go as deep, you go lower. The most important part is your breathing. Now we sorted out the heater. Now is your breathing. Don't worry so much about the flexibility themselves. Your breathing, as long as it's regulated, you will see naturally you go down. But if it's jerky, if it's like, you will struggle, and don't even attempt to go down. It'll be very bad for you. Control your breathing and let it be. And then you just raise your arm, and then you gaze at your fingers a little bit. Do that for 10 seconds, and then the more and more comfortable you get with it, you can go for 20-30 seconds. And you come back, you do the other leg. So guys, if you like my contents, if you're interested in what I do, why not visit my website? I mean, it's ekagaji.com. I mean, the link is in the description below. And what you will see is I not only do flexibility stuff, but I really love dance, especially Afro-Cuban dances. And for me, there is a big connection between dancing and the energy you can portray. I found dancing get me out of many tough situations in matter of seconds. In my view, is more effective than yoga at that. Or any other sport. So you can check out my videos, and especially my posts. I explain a lot of things about rhythm and dancing cultures, etc. Then come back, and then reset a bit. You can do that for 30 seconds.
Then the next one, still following the previous one, we just put a bit of weight on our arm. You will feel the stretch around here. And if you can, you just bring the elbow down. And breathe in, and do the other leg. So, up, up. Then, some parts are more easy to do than others. Up, up. The next one is triangle one. Just keep it that way. You put your hands on your right knee and the other hands on the left leg, left foot. If you are flexible enough, you can try to touch the opposite toe and keep it like this for a few seconds. If not, you just keep it like this and slowly. You might look at me doing this and think, God, you are flexible, you can do it. I mean, it wasn't the case a few years ago. You know, I could barely touch my feet. So it's a question of doing it every day or at least 3 times a week, and you will see results. And that's why the heat-up phase and the recovery phases are important, because I can only do it, you can do it often only if you're not injured, you know. But if you get injured and you get out for 6 months, a year, you will not want to redo it again. So that's why pay attention to this heat-up, pay attention to this recovery, because flexibility has nothing to do with all the stretches itself. Yes, they help, they do the work, but they don't by themselves. If you do them by themselves, you're going to hurt yourself more. However, if you do heat up and recovery by themselves, a lot of good things will happen to you, because you will be ready to do many things, whether it's going to do some sporting event or activities or whatever else. Same thing here, you push the left knee, let your head kind of fall down on it, and if you can try to reach it. I always have one side that is more flexible than the others. That's normal. Then you come back. And the last one we will see for hamstrings will be what I call the square one. So the square one is kind of a summary of everything you've done so far. And basically it's a question of letting gravity get you down. So at the beginning, you're likely to be like this. I can hold it. So you can have a support in front of you, all the support. That's all the support. Then gradually, you just lift your arm from the support, and you will see gravity get you down. Once you are here, 100% guarantee that your head will be able to touch, because it's a matter of time and gravity. That's all. The most complicated phase is to go from where you are almost falling back to the phase where you are a little bit tilting. And you do that, and you let it rest. It's painful, so you don't go for the kill. Just let it happen. So this one is a pretty difficult one. So don't underestimate it, and don't try to do it in one go. You know, take your time. And that's why my
checklist will help you because, well, anyway, it's a bonus, so you need to stay here until the end, okay? If I give you all the secrets, then you won't watch everything I have to give you. So stay until the end and you will see what's the great secret and the great bonus for this checklist. So most of the time, we work on flexibility for hamstrings and all this stuff, but it's good also to work on the upper parts because they are part of your body. So as you saw in the heat up phase, I was trying to reach my back. It's important because there are videos. I mean, I can suggest you this guy called Dr. Bo. He helps a lot of professional fighters and athletes with raising their arms, basically. You know, some of these guys, they are so much muscle, they are so strong, but at the same time so stiff, they can't even lift their arm that size. I can do it all the way and with my palm touch. Not only this part, but this back part and twist them. So you need to work on this part. So that's why I like to do the twist of this part, the shoulder blade, and it helps the flexibility. It helps if you want to do things like this. So if you cannot reach your hands, you just take a towel and hold them like this. Just hold and breathe. That's all you do. And then slowly, gradually, you catch them. And you stay there for a little while. Then you do the same thing for the other one. Again, there's always one side of your body that is more flexible than the others. And that's normal. The important is to keep doing it every day. Then the next one is we're going to do this. Not only this, but behind our back. So we keep the fingers together. I always have troubles with the kind of shirts I put, but this one is a little bit more tolerant to me today. And then basically what you want is your finger behind your back like this. Sometimes in some meditation poses, you see people do this and trying to reach their knees with their head. But in our case, we just keep it like that. If you can touch both palms, it'd be great. And you come down gently, gently, gently. So that's also good for the upper parts, you know, not just the hamstrings. And the last one we'll do is just put the extension in your arm like this. It's very good. You just do this. And you will feel, the more you do it, the longer you can stretch them. The longer you can stretch them. And then you come down. So after all this hard work, what we want to make sure, because we bend it a lot, is reset the spine. So I give you 3 or 4 exercises that are very good for this. So the first one, we saw it already, but it's called Bhujangasana in yoga. So you just make sure your palms are close to your body, your legs are closed, your butt cheeks straight. And then as you breathe in, you just raise everything. So you can do it without the support of the hands, like this, or with this full support. Very good for resetting the spine. Then you go down. You can repeat it another time. And then down. And one last time. And down. And actually, if some of you suffer from some back problem, etc., one thing you can do is go up and with your eyes try to look at the opposite leg, and then you go down and you do the same thing on the other side. You try to go look at the left now. It's very good. Very, very good. I mean, it helped me a lot also. The next one is same kind of principle, only thing that you just go up and down. So breathe in. And out. and out. The next one will be a slight bend, but you can do it that way. So just move your butt forward, keep this kind of meditative position, and slowly, you just put one hand on the heel, the other one, and you keep looking back. Then you go up, and then you bend down. And the final one, it's a bit hard, so if you guys cannot do it, don't worry. So basically, you sit down like this, you bring one feet, it's like the simple one, this simple one is this one, it is not so simple, but we do another variation. So as we bring this leg, we suck in the belly, and then raise the arm, and let it reach the feet, breathe in, and hold the other side of your leg. And look in the opposite direction. It's pretty tough. Then go back and release. So if you cannot do it, don't even try it. But I just want to show you. So breathe in, suck in the belly. Try to bring this one here. Breathe in. Out and back. So after all this and resetting the spine, so we did heat up, flexibility, spine reset, and all these things. The next phase is the recovery phase. So now we're going to see the recovery phase. So basically, the only thing you do, the first thing you do is just lie down on the floor. Your palm open, your eyes closed, and you're just breathing in a regular fashion. You breathe in, and then you breathe out, and you keep doing this normally. If you're not used to lying down on the floor like this, what will happen is maybe your hands will get tense and you want to do this. I mean, you just try to relax them a little bit. Maybe if you want, you can put 2 lime inside your hands. And as you get comfortable and you get relaxed, you just open up your palm. Then you turn on your left, use your right palm, etc. And you come back. And then we're going to do 3 breathing exercises. A simple one where we breathe like 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do another one that will challenge a little bit your breathing. So you breathe 1, 2, 3. You hold 1, 2, 3. You release 1, 2, 3. You hold 1, 2, 3. You breathe in 1, 2, 3. You hold 1, 2, 3. You release 1, 2, 3. You hold 1, 2, 3. breathe in. So it's a bit difficult to do it as I speak. So it goes like this. Okay, so that was one cycle. It can be a little bit challenging. So I'll show you another one you can do that can help is 1, 2, 3, hold 1, 2, 3, and release 1, 2, 3. So it's like this. And at the bottom, you can hold also 1, 2, 3. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3. Then you hold 1, 2, 3. You release 1, 2, 3. You hold 1, 2, 3. Then you come back 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, etc. So. So this will help you when you do the flexibility workout, because what will happen when you do these stretches like this, etc., you will feel like, oh, you want to breathe very fast. It's a bit like when you do push-ups. But then when you start getting your breathing in, then that will really, really help you and make your flexibility go really deep and fast. So I hope you guys like this session. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And before I forget, there is this bonus coming up. So stay tuned and you get this checklist to make sure that you see progress in your endeavors. So you can copy the words of the checklist or send me a message and I will get back to you and give you the PDF version of it so that you can put it as your to-do list and make sure that you have tons of progress in whatever you do. So this was Jimmy from Ekagra. I hope you get your flexibility as fast as possible, but as safely as possible at the same time. So until next time, have a great day. I have this bonus for you. So this checklist I've developed. So as you can see on the screen, this checklist looks like that. So basically you got to make sure that you're on point with your breathing. So you need to record your breathing at the beginning of your journey and see how it goes over time. Especially if you are new to flexibility and stretches, you will see that the more you do the stretches, the deeper they go, the more your breathing gets irregular and kind of jerky and fast and furious. And basically what you want to do is calm down this breathing pattern. So that's why in the recovery I've introduced breathing patterns to help you out. But what I want you to do is record how was your breathing the first day when you started, and then 2 weeks later and a month later, etc. The second point is hamstrings improvement, because that's what we worked on. So you need to record now how deep you're bending after a few weeks compared to your starting point. That is a way for you to make sure that you're on track. And when you do these bends, you need to also make sure that your breathing goes accordingly. Once your breathing starts to get regulated, then you will see automatically your bends and stretches will get more and more deeper. The third point that you need to cover is your hip openers. So how is it now after, let's say, 2 weeks, a month, compared to when you started? You need to see whether you're able to go further in your exercises, whether you can feel the stretch and you can feel the improvements. Another one that I really want you to pay attention to is this exercise when we put our hands underneath our feet. That's a good test of your flexibility, and you will see that the deeper you are in your bending and in your breathing, etc., the more you're able to reach your toes. So are you able to put your full hands underneath your feet or not? If not, then you can see how you're progressing. So for example, if you started with your hands on your knees, are you able to put your hands on your chins? on your chin bones, etc., etc. Obviously, we shouldn't ignore everything related to spine and spine health. So how deep is your spine twist going? Are you able to do the first exercise easily compared to the second one? And with regard to the second one, are you able to see improvement in the way you can do it? Are you feeling you able to kind of suck into your belly and get more of a twist so that you can find this position? And the last one is when you do your recovery, when you are lying down, how are your palms, the palms of your hands, after a few weeks compared to when you started? Not many people are familiar with lying down like this, flat on their back, with their hands and the palm of their hands open. Some people might want to clench their fist, but as they get relaxed, they tend to open their hands, and that's a good indication of how relaxed you are and how your flexibility is improving. So that's another checkpoint you need to consider.